This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 293 of This is the G Podcast. Thank you so much for coming back. We're your weekly recap podcast. We do news, politics, pop culture, the T. Make sure you are following us on Spotify at This is the G Podcast. If you're not doing it, make sure you do it today. I'm here, Tommy B, your host. Tonya B is here to lead. Very special guest. I like to call him a friend of the podcast. I had a chance to do an interview with him when he released his book some years ago, and glad to have him back. Man, just a wealth of knowledge. Y'all give it up for Dr. Mathew Knowles. I like to say doctor.
Yes.
You still teaching? Are you still doing your teaching?
I am. I'm at Prairie View A&M, and I have a special role there, working with the president, and I do a master class once a month in entrepreneurship and marketing. So excited about that.
They couldn't have a better person in place. Let me give it up to you one more time.
For sure.
Man, I need to be in that class.
Hey, me too.
I'll give it up again, man. Let's all go. First of all, before we get into it, what you got going on for the holidays, Mr. Knowles?
Well, family is always first during the holidays, and but we have something that we're working on that starts on my birthday. We were talking about my birthday on January 9th. We have a Destiny's Child Reimagine tribute, and I'm partnered with Candlelight. And what these people do, you walk into and Atlanta is at the Guardian Works. I think that's downtown, Tonya, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's part of the Beltline. It's the new refurbished hotspot in Atlanta.
Okay.
So on the 16th of January, we'll be there. And what Candlelight does, they have about 3,000 candles in the center of the room, 5 musicians, a quintet string. And it's really an intimate, sexy performance. So we'll be in Atlanta on January the 16th. At Guardian Works, and you can go to Destiny'sChild.com and get your tickets.
Yeah, and it's called the Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined, and it transforms tribute. All that energy from the R&B anthems of Destiny's Child into what, he best described as sophisticated candlelit string quartet performances. Now, you guys kicked that off in Houston. Do you kick it off on the 9th? Are you doing the 9th
we kick it off on the 9th. Of January, and then we're in Atlanta on the 16th, and then we go to New York, and then we go to every Friday there's a show, New York, and then Los Angeles, Miami, DC. But when you go to Destiny'sChild.com, you can see all those dates.
Yep. Okay. And I also have the website Destiny'sChildReimaginedTour.com, and I'll make sure both are on our website for folks if they want more information. And you guys, I have to give it to you, really good job with frequently asked questions. That's on the website because people will have questions. So you got your FAQ there for people who want to know more and what to expect. So good job on that as well. Yep.
Good.
But
Good.
I'm excited about it. And given that I remember back in the day, you were launching Destiny's Child, and you were on a lot of panels. I think Mike Malden may have been on the panel when you were talking to folks.
Yeah.
As far as, I think it was like a Columbia panel, and parents were out there asking you questions about getting their kids into music in a similar way you did. So I got to ask you, current state of R&B, where do you think we are? If you look back on that time when you were getting into the game with Destiny's Child, where do you think we are now?
Well, a lot of things have changed. The way, it's a digital age today. And I actually teach in London, the music industry in a digital age. And so we don't have CDs. We're not manufacturing a product anymore. It's also equally visuals. Video is equally as important as the music. But the challenge that we have today, Tommy B, is that any one of you can upload your album or single on one of these digital platforms. And so it's so crowded now with so much music. It's making it hard to find the best music because it's just overly saturated. Still, live music is the answer. That's why you see these same artists touring, because less than 1% make a profit, selling records. So it's really about touring, but a lot of artists can't tour because A, they don't have the right team, B, they don't understand there's a difference in singing and rapping and being an entertainer. There's a really big difference in that.
Yeah. Do you, and I'm going to go to you, Tonya B, in a minute, but I have to ask you, if you had to say somebody was on top, and see, I would say if they said to me, or somebody asked me the question, I'd say Usher. Usher is probably, considering everybody we've lost, he's the last of the, well, of course, Beyonce's in rarefied air. So I don't even put her in a genre. So I can't just say she's R&B. She's just one in country. But when I focus on R&B, probably more or less Chris Brown, Usher, maybe SZA. But Beyonce kind of trumps all that.
Yeah. I mean, Beyonce is also coveted the most making money doing it also. But for me, it's Erykah Badu first in R&B. If you go to her show, she gives you just an exciting show. And then Usher, and then the others you mentioned. But Erykah Badu, she's amazing on the stage.
Good deal. Good. Tonya B?
No, my thing was just, again, who's going to be the savior of R&B? And I think one of the things that Dr. Knowles touched on is the whole concept of touring. Artists don't understand that is part of building your brand, and you have to plan accordingly. And you just can't look up today and go, okay, I'm going on tour next week. Because if you do, I think you're destined to fail. And people don't realize when someone says they're going on tour, they've either been planning it for years previously, or if they announce it, you see they don't go out right away, because again, you have all these logistics that got to be in place. And if one thing is out of place, like the spokes in your wheel, as I say, it's going to fall apart. Would you agree?
Well, that's why Tonya, when Candlelight came and partnered with me, I saw it as an opportunity for the Destiny's Child fans, because to your point, Beyonce's probably going to come out with another record. First, you have an album, and then you tour. So who knows when she's coming out with another record. But whatever that data is, then add 3 years of preparation. That's the type of preparation that she does to put a tour on. You got to find a band, find the dancers, find the background singers, find all of the people behind the stage, the scene, the light crew, the video crew, the sound crew. It's a lot of moving parts, hundreds of people that's behind the scenes making that show happen. That takes years. You got to put the set list together. Then you have to put the fashion, the choreography together. The clothes got to be able to allow you to do that choreography. That's just a lot. So that's why I was excited when Candlelight came, and I said, here's an opportunity for the fans of Destiny's Child to see something that's really intimate and different and satisfying, and at a high level that they can have that experience of Destiny's Child.
And the one thing I really like about this, if you look now at the fans of Destiny's Child, they're probably in their 40s. Most of them are mid, they're 40 to 45.
Yeah, exactly.
or older.
Hold on.
I'm only looking at the high schoolers, okay?
Okay. My mama's in the Beehive, and she's 94, okay?
Well, I'm talking about the core.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Back in the day, because these were 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls, okay?
Correct.
I mean, back in the day when you look back at the fans. So the 16-year-olds are 43. Yeah, but go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, just add 25 years to the age.
Mm-hmm.
From the time they heard Destiny's Child, just add 25 years, and you're going to get somewhere 40s. You'll get some young people, because the young generation, Gen Z, they like to explore and find new music and finding new music. But the core is in its early, mid-40s.
Yeah. And I'm going to say one more thing. I'm going to throw it to you, Talib. This is what the rock bands do. The rock bands have done the string quartet presentation, the symphonic, presentations of their music. So it's very fitting for you to do this with Destiny's Child. Good.
Well, they've been doing, Candlelight has been doing Beyonce for a year and a half, along with Adele, Taylor Swift. This is nothing new. This company does 1,000 shows per day around the world.
Awesome.
Wow.
So they reimagine a lot of different artists, a lot of different types of genres.
And it's at a very high level. Everyone walks away extremely pleased and happy. And it's an experience. You get to sing and dance at the end, and everybody gets to have a good time, get to dress up. It's it's real cool. Like I said,
it's an event.
It's
an event.
I'm gonna go to you, Talib. Go ahead.
Well, first things first, I want to say that I don't know of too many people that have worked harder than Mr. Knowles. I could attest to it firsthand, as I was the A&R director for Silent Partner when the dolls were when it was about the dolls, you know what I mean? So and that was 94.
Yeah, 94.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, Daryl
Right.
Simmons.
Yes, sir. So, and so for me personally, just to be able to say that, I've seen these women grow from that point, to what they are now is just incredible. And there has to be some a force behind them, you know what I mean, in order to be able to get them to that point. So I just want to say respect, on that tip. But I did watch an interview that you had done recently where you were talking about Destiny's Child was not the only group you were managing. Nas, I had no idea that, that you had that kind of reach. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad we're having this conversation because just last night, my wife and I were in Cabo, so we came back to the room and she watched this show called, is it Dineva?
Funky Dineva Live, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he was I don't care. Everybody can share their perspective, but have the information. And so he didn't have the information. He was like, well, Mathew Knowles shouldn't be. Why do he think he should be called the best manager ever? He's only had, Beyonce and Destiny's Child and Solange. Even if we stop there.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. The number one girl group in the history of music, the number one female artist in the history of music. But what he didn't know, and he didn't do his research, and as you know, Tonya, I had these young white girls out of Sweden called Play.
Yep.
And we did 3 albums on Columbia, and they went platinum and on all 3 of their albums. What he didn't know is all the artists that I managed over my career. I've had everybody from Life Jennings to Nas to Mario. And then you go into the gospel field. I've had everyone from Leandra Johnson. We did 5 albums with Trinity 5-7's 5 albums. Brian Courtney Wilson, Juanita Bynum. Then what he didn't know is that I bought 5 black men management companies. Jay Irvin and Demet Guidry and Ken Du, and I can go on. We had, under my management company, we had everybody from Eve Floetry, Lady Gaga, Mary J. Blige, Nelly, and this brother. Then I hadn't even talked about the record label side. On the record label side,
exactly. Sanctuary, yes, come on
the
with
record
it,
label
brother.
side, I did Earth, Wind and Fire, Maurice before he died, 2 OJ's album, Cool
Shaka
and the
Khan.
Gang, De La Soul, Shaka
De La
Khan.
Soul.
Yeah, so I'm listening at this brother. What's his name again?
Funky
Who
Dineva,
knows?
a.k.a. Quentin Latham. Yeah.
Funky Dineva, you owe me an apology, brother.
Right.
Because you had nothing, you didn't know what you was talking about. Sunshine Anderson, I managed, and she was also on my label. She fell in love with Atlanta Falcons football player and quit. But before she quit, she had a top R&B record.
Yes, she did.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting there saying, man, do your homework. Do your homework.
Yeah.
But the thing that amazes me is even the what is it? The catalogs you own.
Yeah.
Johnny
blew me
Cash.
away.
Right.
Do you still own?
How about Johnny Cash? And I got Snoop Dogg on the record. And I hadn't even gotten to the soundtracks yet, have I?
Yeah.
Wow.
What soundtracks were they?
So let me ask you this. Is it how did you feel having to take on the role of the villain in order to ensure that the artists that you had, on your rosters were getting the kind of treatment that they deserve? Because usually that role, and nobody wants to admit that, I had to be a villain in order to get to this point. But at the same time, you can't let people just take advantage of you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, the question is, how did I manage that?
Yeah.
Well, I pride myself on knowledge. And I went back to school for the music management and touring and promotions and publishing. Most people don't realize my first artist was a rapper, not Destiny's Child, Lil O, in Houston. Most people don't realize my first tour was with UGK, Bun B and Pimp C. And being in the club and in the streets, and those young men I interviewed that you're talking about, Tommy B, they was shocked that I knew the street life.
Oh yeah,
but
how could you not, considering?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
but I'm 6'4", and I can go there if we have to go there.
You gotta go back Gadsden.
In case you got a jam. Hey,
Right.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. Hey, one more thing, because people are gonna ask me, Solange, what's next? Where I'm not sure how intimately involved you are with that with her career, but what's next for her?
Come on.
I tell you, Solange, man, I am really, really proud of. She decided to walk in a different footsteps than her sister. Exceptionally creative. Everything she touches just turns to success. She's not just music. What she's done with symphony orchestras and leading that, and what she's done with blow glass, and what she's done. I mean, everything's fashion.
Ballet.
She had some health issues, and she handled it and took care of herself. I think she's on the other side of that. She's always working on something, and she's very, very tight-lipped about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if next year Solange comes out with a product.
Because I'm here to tell you, a lot of people are asking. When you go on the blogs and you talk to people in the circle of the Beyonce fandom, people always ask. And I know she's done some stuff on the tour. The family has done things on the tour, but that specifically comes up a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And she's just uber talented. Uber talented. And again, look at Michelle. Michelle had 4 #1 gospel records, 4 #1, and the whole strategy for Michelle was to be on Broadway. We did Aida. I was able to get her that, and that was the strategy. And today, she's where? On Broadway.
Back on Broadway.
So all of these things were strategic. Kelly has done a great job. She was just on tour with Monica. I think she did 6 or 7 Destiny's Child songs, and that's hard to compete with if you're another artist. Those are some good songs, and you'll see that when you see me out. And by the way, I will be there in Atlanta. I'm going to curate and tell some stories on how some of those songs came about. So I look forward to that. On the
so you're going to give us some tickets to give away, right?
Yes. What do you need?
On the website. Excellent.
We got you.
You heard it. I had to put him on the record.
I got you. Hey, I ain't mad at you, Tommy B, because if you don't ask, the answer is hell no.
There you go.
Exactly.
And even if you can take a hell no and make it a yes. But my thing is, one thing that people forget, just because they don't see, it may say a Solange, who we know, I was my hanging buddy for a while, and Kelly, and, the people that we like. But anyway, that whole thing, people don't realize that if you say Kelly, Solange overseas, you're talking filling arenas, and people forget about that. They just think about their neighborhood. They want to be famous in their neighborhood with their cousin Peanut and them, or they want to be famous domestically. But you got to go get that bag overseas, because that's really where the bag is to me.
But you have to, Tonya, you have to put in the work for that.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
what a lot of artists, they don't want to put in the work.
That's part of, they want it, but they don't want to put in the work, and they don't want to be the least bit uncomfortable. So it's just like anything else. It's song by James Brown. If you don't work, you can't eat, If you really want it, you have to sacrifice too, I think every artist that, is like the Ushers of the world, all of Dr. Knowles artists, they had to sacrifice something to get where they are. And the other thing a lot of artists don't do today is they don't listen. It's free to listen. If you would just listen, I think Dr. Knowles, I think you know where I'm going. If you don't listen, that's a recipe for failure.
Yeah, so true. I got to give it up one more time. Y'all give it up for Mathew Knowles. Thank you. And again, don't hesitate to come on. Don't be a stranger.
Well, I'd like to come on again.
Well, hey, if you need to set the record straight, if somebody throwing some stuff out there that does not agree.
I hope that gets back to that young man.
I will send you the clip.
All right. Thank you.
We can just drop it in his DM.
Go ahead.
Drop it in his DM. Go ahead.
But the website is Destiny'sChildReimagined.com, Destiny'sChild.com. Just a phenomenal project coming up. And I just have to say, keep it out there. Keep doing what you're doing. We're proud of you. And we need more people, more men, more black men out there, celebrating their legacies and the things they've done versus, trying to destroy legacies at the end of lives. So you keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep reporting on that. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Take care. Happy holidays to you and the family.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See, that's what that's what I'm talking about, Jack. Okay, exactly. When in doubt, go to the source. Okay.
Go to the source, man. I mean,
really.
Well, it's my background. Tonya B, you and I studied journalism, and part of doing that is doing your homework.
Yes, exactly. Don't open your mouth.
We don't always get it right, and we don't always cover everything. But you don't want to go into stuff combative way, not knowing what you're talking about.
Right, and when you go into it all wrong, going into it all wrong is a recipe for disaster.
I can honestly say, man, because this was, my experience with Mr. Knowles was, at the beginning part of, his journey. And, that is one get it done, brother. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And, people, like I said, people always want to portray that person who is making the demands to make sure his people are straight. They want to always try and portray him as a villain. But that brother, man, no, I take my hat off to him, man. Because there's no way that they could go from the Dolls to Destiny's Child without somebody like a Mathew Knowles making the push.
I agree with you, Talib. And let me say this, man. When we go back, when I see him, I remember, back in it had to be 95, 96, somewhere before, they were about to come out with the first big hit. They had already released it. It was climbing. And he and Mike Malden were talking about being parents. Malden is
Jermaine's dad.
Jermaine Dupri,
and they're talking about being a parent, looking over their sons and their daughters' careers, and it was no joke. I mean, we were sitting there like, this dude is serious. We didn't really know what this was going to become, but I'm not surprised that it became what it became. But go ahead, Tony.
No, I'm saying, and one thing he didn't talk about, but when you have, said children, especially when they're underage, and those girls were, you got to worry about keeping, being on tour and keeping the guys from Jagged Edge away from your children. You got to think about when the label forces you to go. You know what I'm saying? When the label tries to force you to go. Yes, I did. Don't come for me. Let me say this. Funny. But no, well, when you have, you're when the label says you got to go with the hot producer, and you got to. You have your children subjected, and I wish he had talked about that, to being around R. Kelly. It's like he said they didn't. Those girls did not go to the bathroom without him or Miss Tina Knowles. Nothing ever came from it. But there are a lot of predators and perverts and scammers out here. You have to protect your children.
Yeah. So true. Last word, Talib, and then we'll go to break and come back. We're not going to do news. We'll just come back with T. Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just celebrating. You know what I mean? It's something to celebrate.
It is.
You know what I mean? When you can take, and that's the funny thing too, because it's not just what he did for Destiny's Child. Mm-hmm. You know, it's what he's done since Destiny's Child. That has been able to sustain him. Yeah. And those are that's where the real congratulations needs to come.
Exactly.
Because you're able to recreate the success, which means that it's a formula at this point. It's a like he was saying, everything is strategic. And that's the key to it all.
Yeah, so true. Hey, let's take a break and we'll come back with T, Tonya B. We'll come right back.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's get it.
Yeah, I know we got plenty to talk about. I got a chance to hang out with the cool kids. So we got
I got to hear about that. I got to hear about that.
All right, y'all, you know what time it is.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
Are we going to talk about the local tea?
Okay, well, first I want to say again.
She just went off.
Hey. What I first want to say is, again, shout out to Dr. Knowles for coming on the podcast. But one thing I want to open up with is, more kudos for Beyonce. As I mentioned last week, she is going to co-chair the 2026 Met Gala with Serena Williams. But also, for those of you who don't know, and again, things like this would not happen, without Mathew and Tina Knowles behind their daughter, because everything starts in the home and you grow the seed from there. But the Beyonce is the first artist, male or female, to chart on Billboard Hot 100 for 28 straight years in a row.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Let me repeat that.
I mean, not surprising, but big. Yeah.
Yeah. 28 years in a row. That's a lot. That's major. That is major. Then we also got to take it down to the 5,000 Black Baptist Church Altars of America and say rest in peace to the man that probably used more Jerry Curl juice than Ready for the World, and that would be Carl Carlton. In 74, we know he had the hit Everlasting Love, but he really crossed over in 1981. Yeah.
Good.
But no, Bad Mama Jamma, I think that was everybody's jam.
But you know what? People don't remember Everlasting Love because Bad Mama Jamma was so massive. You know what I mean?
But see, Everlasting Love did not cross over like Bad Mama Jamma did.
No, it was R&B. It was straight.
Yeah, that was that was like right on the cusp of disco as well. But I did report some years back, maybe about 6 years ago, he had a stroke that he never really recovered from. So rest in peace to him. And also for those of you,
but he had been touring. He had been touring still, doing some tours, right?
A little, not really, because I believe eventually it did affect his speech. So, that's the downside of it. Okay. Yeah. Also, whether you watched soap operas or not, tell me somebody who didn't know about Luke and Laura and Tony Geary, a.k.a. Luke Spencer, or I call it Junkie Hospital, but General Hospital. He won 9 Academy Awards for his role, and he passed away earlier this week as a result of complications from surgery.
Emmys.
Daytime Emmys, I'm sorry. Emmys, right? Daytime Emmys. Yes, he has 9 of them.
I'm like,
yes.
Damn, he did movies too?
No, he did, but okay.
I got you.
Okay, and now we're going to move over to, I usually have a Dumb Donkey of the Week, but I just decided that I'm going to start the Dumb Donkey Hall of Fame. And the first person in it, who would that be? I'm so glad you asked. It would be Ray J. I mean, it's like we don't talk about
Come
Ray
on.
J. But first it was him with the RICO accusations with the Kardashians. Then there was a gun waving incident, and now after formally defending Sean Combs, he now says that his backside was taken by Sean Combs, and now he has no control over his bowels. That's a little TMI, but I just say anybody care about this poor man who's just starving for attention, needs to stay off social media, especially live streaming. Like just when
He is getting my boy again from That's So Raven. He is slowly
Orlando Brown.
eclipsing. He's
I
slowly
don't
eclipsing
know.
Orlando Brown. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's another
Maybe it's
runner-up.
because Brandy's on tour with Monica. Maybe that.
Well,
I don't know.
He
Triggers him.
always
But go
shows
ahead.
his behind whenever Brandy's doing well. And that's the tour that Matthew Knowles mentioned. Kelly Rowland was on, the Boy Is Mine tour, which did extremely well.
Yep.
And they're supposed to be going into Vegas for a residency late next year. So it just goes to show you. And they both had songs that crossed over. So they just don't have African American fans. Now, the other dumb donkey this week is Trigger Trey Songz.
Eek.
He
What
got
a big
arrested
catalog.
again.
What a successful R&B artist who
What a
is
waste.
also kind of awaiting some. Well, he's awaiting some stuff that that he's going to be tried for in 2026. So not just this. Well, go ahead. I'll let you finish. But I'm just kind of.
Well, I know. Poor,
Sorry to hear.
he ended up with Tory Lanez. Yeah, he got mad because the club closed down at 4:00, and his response to that was to punch a club employee in the face. Another lawsuit. And I'm like, Trigger, you're 41 years old. It's time to go home. And again, I think he's portraying a very negative image for his son.
Yeah. And what an amazing catalog. People are going to forget about the catalog this guy has done.
Right.
But he doesn't even fall within that because, all the incidents are starting to eclipse his career. So we'll see. What else you got?
The neighbors know his name. And then my final dumb donkey is
Yeah.
my question is what? And I'm going to say, what moron at CBS allegedly wants to replace Gayle King with Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica? Let me ask you this. Is she even a journalist? And if you want somebody with
Well, you got to
warmth
keep
and
in
credibility-
mind, the new owner, Ellison, his dad is big into that whole MAGA. What is it?
True.
I don't even know the name of the whole movement. Well, the Charlie Kirk movement.
Yes.
They're friends of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. And it's going to be interesting because when I watched Beyond the Gates, and that was an NAACP partnership with CBS.
Yes.
And a lot of people are asking, considering Ellison now owns it, what's going to happen with that? Because it's very Trump friendly. And this was a DEI partnership. It really, truly is a DEI partnership. So it'll be interesting. I mean, it's performing in the ratings from the previous show, but it'll be interesting going forward, see how it's handled. But go ahead.
Well, here's the
I'm not
other thing.
surprised.
No, well, I'm like, okay, what's Erica Kirk's credibility? I get it, but if you think,
Yeah.
I remember that song, If You Think You're Lonely Now, if you think your ratings are low now, you go ahead and put her over there and see what happens, because I think it is not going to be a good look, and Gail's going to get the last laugh. And
Gail's gonna be fine. You know that.
yeah, I know she will absolutely. But I'm just saying, what a moron. The 2026 Olympics. You may recall with those homophobic comments that Snoop Dogg made. They kind of put him on the back burner for a while. But now Mariah Carey will be involved in the opening. Well, she'll be standing there during the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and they have decided to give Snoop Dogg another chance because I guess they realize that he has an audience that they have yet to tap into. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean, I don't see them because he's become like a staple in the Olympics
Yeah,
now. You
they
got to
have,
have
yeah.
Snoop.
Yeah. So, and no, other people have tried and they just didn't quite make it. And I'm speaking of somebody who didn't quite make it, somebody who didn't quite make it through reading, Behavior 101 when you leave the U.S. Wiz Khalifa. If you want to know where Wiz Khalifa is, I'm about to tell you. Did you know that he is fighting against a 9-month jail sentence in Romania because he was performing over there and lit up weed on the stage. So they've charged him with marijuana possession, smoking in public, and he can't say he didn't do it because the incident was filmed. So some lawyer's going to make a lot of money off Wiz Khalifa, but I just think that was less than smart. That's all I got to say about that.
He should call A$AP Rocky's lawyer, the one who got him out of Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh no, he need to call Dallas Austin's lawyer. Wait, call Dallas Austin's lawyer, lest we not forget about that incident back in the day.
Yeah.
I think he was in Dallas. I think it was in Turkey.
I bet A$AP Rocky's attorney can get him out.
Probably.
Definitely.
And
all right, go ahead. You got one more. I got a couple of things.
Okay, too quick. Okay, just quick up there. I talked about Mariah. Mariah and Anderson .Paak split up. It was no messiness about it. I guess they just outgrew each other. And I mean, I heard that he is really crushed because he left his wife for her, and she got his beats. He produced the album. It didn't do well. And lastly, we cannot close out the tea without mentioning the horrific murder of Rob and Michelle Reiner by their son. Over the generations, after All in the Family, he became one of the most prolific directors and producers of movies. I love First Wives Club, my favorite movie. Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, Stand By Me, I think is a coming of age movie for everybody, A Few Good Men. And it's really sad that for all the things that he was able to offer his son, their son could not overcome the addiction. And when you have addiction coupled with schizophrenia, this is the type of thing that happens. And I just feel for the family, and I really feel for their daughter who discovered the bodies. But Rob, he like his father. They walk the walk and talk the talk, and they both have left an indelible body of work that we can always remember them by. But just prayers up to the family. That was a horrible, horrible situation.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. It's interesting because when Charlie Kirk was killed, okay, and let me say, probably one of the saddest days in America was that post from y'all's president, not mine.
To quote Whoopi Goldberg, "You ain't my president." No.
One of the worst. I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that from anyone in government regarding someone's death, and it's going to come back on him based on the fact, based on the responses from both sides of the aisle. But his son is facing life in prison, and potentially, he's facing the death sentence.
Yeah,
but everybody talks so highly about Rob Reiner, man. Yep. Even though he hated Trump, he never went overboard. He never took it to the person. He kept it on the policy side. And even when Charlie Kirk died, people expected him to do the same thing that 47 did, and he didn't. He said, hey, it was horrific. No one, regardless of what you think, how you feel, what you believe in, no one should die that way. And it was just, and here comes 47 in plain sight doing exactly what he told people not to do.
Right.
So, you just rest in power. Definitely, I am a huge Rob Reiner as a director fan. Yes. Not only that, but, I grew up, all of us grew up watching him as Meathead.
Yeah.
Yeah. On All in the Family. So we see him, we say it's Meathead. we're in that generation. So, rest in power. Rest in power.
Yes,
just a couple of things. The Jake Paul fight last night, I stayed up for that mess. Anthony Joshua from UK. What a fake fight.
Really?
Dude,
it was like that bad?
He could have knocked him out in the first round, but first of all, the rules, they expanded the ring so to give Jake enough room to run. So the first couple of rounds, all it is Jake Paul just kind of going in a square around it. Because, I don't know Anthony Joshua's career other than what his record says, but he's a big dude. He's he's a heavyweight. You know what I mean? What's the guy, Titus? You may know. He's trying to fight.
Titus
that's what he's
Burgess?
trying to fight next. So, no. I'll think of the next fight he wants, and he was referring to at the end. But it was this guy just running around the ring trying to get a hit in. But when he hit him, when he did eventually knock him out, he knocked his ass out.
Oh, he
You know
saw
how
stars for real.
like on Friday, you got
You got
nothing. Fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Put a little head
Tommy
shake
B.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the cartoons when they
Yeah.
had the stars going around their head, it was one of those moments.
Yes,
Just like it was a
exactly.
cartoon. The whole thing was a
And-
cartoon moment, actually.
So they, of course, on social media, they got stop motion, they got slow motion, they got all the angles of Jake Paul getting knocked out. But
The
Jake
internet wins again.
always. But Jake was very humble. Jake was very humble. I will tell you, because they knew that. Hey, they know they took the money. At the end,
Of
it
course,
was
that's
like,
all it was.
America, thank you so much. I'm like, of
Help me,
course you
Holy
need to
Ghost.
thank us for watching this shit. Yeah.
Mm.
And then the big surprise of the night was Dave Chappelle dropped a special on Netflix, and it was a surprise. Nobody really knew it was coming until I was just listening, watching, a little bit before. I'm watching Alabama and Oklahoma. Oklahoma, damn. That's all I got to say. Damn, Sooners. But anyway, I'm watching that, and they mentioned, after the fight on Netflix, Dave Chappelle's got a special. I'm like, oh, Dave Chappelle got a special? So I waited until after the fight and went over and watched it. And it is on Netflix, of course, the new Dave Chappelle special. But he talks about Diddy. He talks about Charlie Kirk and that whole incident. He goes into the whole year of Trump and what it's an interesting take. You have to kind of, how do you say it, Talib? You have to kind of marinate in what Dave's, you get it's funny, but you got to think about it.
Yeah.
You got to kind of marinate in some of the stuff he says. Should I be laughing at this?
Go watch it twice.
Do I really,
Right,
am I
exactly.
really supposed to be
Exactly.
laughing at this shit? But it was funny at the moment.
Right.
All right, y'all. So the big thing is the Earwax event. Thank you so much, Talib,
Hey,
for
yeah,
inviting
brother.
me. And Talib, this venue, I love the venue, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us the name of the venue.
Okay, so it was at a spot called the Echo Room, which is part of the West Side Motor Lounge complex. And, it's a indoor, outdoor, event space on the west side of Atlanta, right near the Georgia Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I was about to say the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Go
But
ahead.
it's actually owned by one of the part owners of it is another DJ, Atlanta DJ, who's been on the scene for a while on the house tip. DJ Salah. I actually went to high school with Salah. We were Northsiders, Northside Tigers, and so that's my guy. And just the fact that he has
Was he
taken.
at the event?
Yeah, he was the short guy that was walking around with the really long locks. I don't know
okay.
if you saw him, the locks almost
Yeah, I
down
think
to
I
the
saw him.
floor.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
Yep.
so Salah is like, I've known Salah since the 80s. And to see where he's come as a DJ, he's also one of the DJs who spins at House in the Park every year.
Nice.
So there's four
Okay.
DJs for that, and Salah is one of them. So the venue was top notch, and it had the right look, the right aesthetic. So the event was it was a reception for the art exhibit that the Earwax crew has at the Atlanta airport. It's called Beyond the 50th, continuing hip hop's legacy. We have 4 display cases at the airport where it's just a bunch of different themes. So there's one that's designed to look like Earwax, like if you had walked in the front door of the store.
Yep.
We have one that is a collection of equipment, excuse me, that DJs and producers use. So we've got a GLI 3900 on there. We got a Clubman, one of the original mixers with the
damn.
crossfader, one of the first ones with the crossfader.
Yeah.
A different collection of turntables, production equipment, MPC, SP12, 808. The actual pieces of equipment. And then there's the third one is the tribute to Atlanta scene. So all the firsts, you know, Easy T being the first female rapper, you know, Mojo being the first male rapper.
Let Mojo handle it.
Exactly.
That was a real song. That was a real song.
Yeah, that was a real
like,
song.
There you go.
Nah,
that was not a Richard Pryor.
But quite timely.
Stomp, jump,
Stop
and
twist. Yes, yes.
Yes.
So, you know, and even, you know, the first promo street team, which was Keep It Street, that was me. That was my contribution. So, you know, it's dynamite, man. And then the last one, the last display case is about hip hop is global. So, you know, but it shows the more intelligent side of the industry as well. So, you know, MC or, you know, people who are in hip hop that have created books, we have the books in there. Stickers, you know, just memorabilia. I mean, it's dynamite, man. And we put a lot of thought and heart and soul into it as well. So just to have, you know, everybody who can't make it out to the airport due to security reasons, you know, to have, you know, like a family reunion, right? You know,
you
just
ain't
to
getting
have
up in there,
right? No, yeah, not just, not unless you're flying somewhere, you know.
Or you run real fast, but go ahead.
Right. But you know, it's I could just imagine somebody trying to run through the TSA line in Hartsfield, man.
They will get you.
Oh yeah. So so the reception was, you know, basically, you know, just inviting everybody to come out and see what we have done, you know, and I'm telling you, man, it felt like a family reunion in there. You know, there were people I haven't seen in, you know, 20, 30 years almost, you know. So it was, I mean, and even Tommy B showed up, you know what I mean?
Oh Lord. Like I said, it was like being in the room with the cool kids.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I came and I called. First of all, I sent Talib, and you know, I sent Talib a text and said, "Hey man, I'm here, but I'm gonna wait on you to go in." Because when I'm walking with Talib, hey Talib,
kids.
It was
the problem was it took 40 minutes to get in. Yeah, it took because Talib was stopping.
Hey, every minute is like everybody. But you know, I got to say this, man. I saw so many people I hadn't seen in 20, 30 years maybe.
Yeah.
But the one guy I saw who was just cool as hell, just like the first day I met him, Raheem the Dream.
Yeah, man.
And I saw Raheem. Of course, you see Raheem. You know Raheem when you see him. You know?
Oh yeah.
And I went up to him. He said, he knew me because normally the gray and, you know, age has been 30 years. So you know, I say, hey, Raheem, and man, we just immediately started talking about back in the day. And when he first launched his record, you know, the big record was Raheem the Dream.
Right.
And when I left Atlanta in '94, I went to Texas, and the station I was working at, we flipped to a more what we call Churban, CHR. And I don't know if you guys remember the song "Beautiful Girl."
Yeah, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Most beautifulest.
Kind of a not a bass record, but it was close to a bass record. Okay?
Yeah.
So he comes into our studio. I'm in sales at the time. I'm not doing programming anymore. He sees me. We start dapping it up and blah blah blah. He's, you know, this is in the '90s. And I said, hey man, I know about your record. He thought he was coming to the black station. You know what I'm saying? It's a rhythmic, Hispanic leaning rhythmic station. Right. He goes to the venue. He said he went to the venue. It was 100% Hispanic, Mexican, Latino, Latina.
Wow.
And that's how big that record was.
Yeah.
In Texas, you know, among the Hispanic market. He did not know that his record was that big with the Hispanic market. It was a beautiful girl, but just good seeing Raheem. I hope he gets involved. There's a new documentary coming about the Fresh Party, and I truly, because he was a big reason why the Fresh Party was so successful in the beginning.
Yeah. You know, what is the Fresh Party? Those of us.
Oh well, the Fresh Party and what is the Fresh Party was on V103. It was the first rap segment on that station every Friday night.
Oh, really?
Darren Fears was the first host. You had Tony T Rockski did the mixes, And I mean, it was just, I mean, that's where, because of course, you know, V103 was kind of like the first urban AC, not gonna
Right.
lie. So
Yeah.
you didn't hear rap until nights and weekends. And the Fresh Party was the place where all the teens went. And Darren Fears, the host, you know, was at, and if you're from Atlanta, you know about Sharon Showcase. Everybody's heard of this venue called Sharon Showcase. He hosted there. I think Darren went to Columbia High School. So Darren was doing radio in high school when he was
Wow.
at Columbia
wow.
for, I think, WIGO first, and eventually went over to V with Mike. But
Okay.
just it is a, you know, it is a phenomenon. How big, plus you're on 100,000 watt signal.
Come on. Exactly. That's
The
what I was
number
about to say.
one
You know.
black station, and he's hosting the rap show
Yeah.
at the time. You know, Talib did what, WRS?
Yeah. Georgia
That's
State.
at- and, oh, yeah, State. I get them all
Yeah,
mixed.
Georgia State. Yep.
And kind of quote unquote rival, but it
Yeah.
was a different league, kind of a
Yes.
different approach, different league, college radio.
Right.
But
Exactly.
the Fresh Party, man, you know, I think anybody in their 40s and 50s right now, you know the Fresh Party.
Yeah. You
in
have
that room,
to.
you walk
I mean-
around. If somebody say Fresh Party, everybody goes to that. in
Yep.
Atlanta.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Everybody knows Dangerous Darren Fears.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Dangerous
mean?
D.
So it was
Wait, who?
but the Fresh Party, you know, even the Fresh Party was even inspirational for me as well. Because again, I moved here in '86.
Yeah.
So I'm still in high school. And
Mhm.
everybody in high school that I know was going out to Sharon's or to Kicks or the Mardi Gras, you know, the teen clubs.
Mhm.
And the Fresh Party was a very important part of us growing up here in Atlanta. So
Yeah,
You know-
Darren is Mr. Magic,
Wow.
DJ Red
Yeah.
Alert
yeah, yes.
for Atlanta. You know, kind of. I mean, when am I?
Oh,
am I
wow,
overstepping?
okay.
No, you're not overstepping it, Darren. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Darren deserves his props. You know, was one? I thought Wanda Ramos was the first host though.
Not, you know,
Not
really.
I would say probably, yeah, because see, V was weird in the beginning. 'Cause
Okay,
V,
okay.
You know, you got to keep in mind, V was a country station before it went.
Got
At
it.
the time, it's like when
Really?
when black, no joke. I mean, it was like WPLO. It was a black. It was a country, not black country.
Right.
Owned by Summit
Wow.
Communications. When they started to see the success of urban in New York and all these other, you know, Chicago, that's when, you know, we're talking Tonya B post disco. So a lot of the FM stations that had gone disco didn't know where to go. They didn't know what would be next.
Wow.
And that's how Urban Contemporary came about because, you know, V was a disco station. Okay. So you had disco talent, the people who would represent the disco market and all the
era.
jocks were white
Right.
in the beginning. Scott
Wow.
White, a lot of those guys. So my whole point is, Wanda, I wouldn't be surprised because Wanda was there. Wanda eventually went
Okay.
to sales.
Right, okay.
You know, but well, she went to records. You know that.
Right.
Tanya,
Right.
not
Yeah.
sales.
She went.
Yeah,
Right. She went.
yeah.
She went to work for the. Yeah.
Yeah, but she I wouldn't be surprised, but the real true impact came with Darren.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I'm not surprised because they had jocks. They didn't know what to do with the station. That's how Urban Contemporary came about. It's like out of
And you
disco,
know-
boom. Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because Wanda was. I grew up with Wanda in New York, in the New York market, because she was on. I believe it was KTU, WKTU.
And KTU was a crossover.
and
It still
BLS.
is.
Exactly. Still is.
BLS. Yeah. BLS was urban. You
Yeah.
know,
BLS is
Yeah.
always.
90
Yeah. That's the black station. Yeah. You know.
98.7.
That's
Kiss
the
FM,
black station.
you know, all that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, hey, but man, thank y'all. Appreciate again, you know, really and truly to you and Jazz, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just. I'm thinking on my way home because Jazz said, "Hey, man, I have heard your name for years. We have never met." Because
Really?
because in a lot of cases, I was gone. I left in '94.
Okay.
But
Right.
still,
There you go.
yeah, I was in Dallas. But my thing
okay.
was I knew his name. We had
Yeah.
a mutual friend,
Right.
and I always would
Exactly.
hear Jazz's comments and quotes.
Right.
and his take on things. So I felt like
Okay.
I knew Jazz.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity when I got there.
Man,
Say, hey man,
no,
I
I'm
gotta go
telling
see
you.
Jazz. So we took a picture together. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man. No,
follow us,
listen,
yeah.
that honestly, Tommy, having you
Yeah.
there was it felt really good,
Yeah.
and that was the whole thing. Earwax, what Earwax really represented was a good feeling for transplants.
Yeah.
As well as locals, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But the transplants didn't know anything. They're new to town, and to see Earwax kind of reminded them of wherever they were from.
Where
People
was Jazz from? Where's Jazz originally
Jazz
from?
is from Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's what
He's
I
a
thought.
Brooklyn
Yeah.
boy,
And it's a very
Um,
Brooklynish vibe. When you go in, the music, the hip hop,
yeah.
very.
But Jazz had also gone to school in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
So him and Shabazz met each other in college in North Carolina. So Jazz already had, an understanding outside of New York. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's part of what helped us relate, because again, I'm a New Yorker, but I went to high school here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was well entrenched in Atlanta, old Atlanta culture.
North
You
side
know what
with
I
the
mean?
flying girls, but go ahead.
Oh, hey, man, we had a couple stars there.
That's where Jasmine Guy. Hey, Jasmine Guy. Jasmine Guy was at North Side.
Yes. And,
Yes.
and it's funny because her mother was my English teacher.
Oh,
And
really?
Hey, her dad married my mother and my
Really?
stepdad,
Really?
Reverend Guy.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, snap! Yes,
The church,
Reverend
the
Guy.
church that bought, the Georgia Dome bought the church.
Yeah, yo,
That's
they
where
said
that's where they got married. My stepdad.
Man, they said Reverend Guy was able to prove that 1 + 1 didn't equal 2.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the myth of Reverend Guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Reverend
so
Guy.
he was
what
a
now?
math teacher, and listen, he said 1 + 1 does not equal 2, and mathematically proved it. So that was
Okay.
that was a crazy. Oh yeah.
The rest in power. Rest in power.
Wow.
Hey man,
For
y'all.
sure.
This is our last show. We're not coming back as a group until January 10th. I'm coming back January 3rd with Mike. We're going to do kind of a yearly recap. Y'all got any last minute shout outs? I'll go to you first to leave, and then Tonya B. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody that's been following the This Is the G podcast. I personally appreciate y'all for listening, and to what we have to say, to think that our voices are that important where, you would tune in on a somewhat regular basis. Definitely want to say what's up to Regia Shabazz. The reason I'm on the G podcast in the first place, anybody that's come out to see the Beyond the 50th exhibit at the airport, please, if you're in Atlanta, take a few moments to the e-concourse. Go to the e-concourse and check it out. I promise you, you will be there. You might miss your plane. It's that intense. You know what I mean? But yeah, just thanks for, friends and family who support. Mom, I don't know if you saw my mom. My mom actually made it out on Thursday night too. So yeah, definitely want to shout out to the hip hop grandmother.
That's what's up.
And yes,
Now.
thank you. But thank you again. And everybody have happy holidays, and we look forward to seeing y'all next year.
Good stuff. What about you, Tonya B? You roll.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to everybody and anybody who has ever said a kind word to me or my family members about the loss of my dear cousin, Derwin Brown. This is the 25th anniversary of the year that we lost him to that vicious sociopath, Sidney Dorsey. May you rot in jail for the rest of your life, and you will. But we had an amazing gravesite.
Yes.
Tonya B.
We knew it all the
Finally.
time.
Finally.
And he should have.
Yeah.
He admitted it when they took his wig away. That's all. So the thing about it is that we were at the gravesite. I'll catch up that one later. We were at the gravesite again. It was also the birthday of his wife, his deceased wife Phyllis knew it. It was great. There were 3 generations of our family that were there. A lot of friends. The DeKalb County Sheriff's Department and the Sheriff's Office showed all the way out. Thank them for that. A special thanks to Dale Carswell. I know that Dale was the one that really broke the case of my cousin's murder. He was there. Channel 2 was there. Channel 5 was there. And another young man who's been around for a while. Oh God, I'm going to mess up his name. Mike Veazey or Tom Veazey or Veazey from WSB. He was there with the crew. They were there the entire time from start to finish. So, people say, it's been 25 years. But when you have somebody, we're a very close family. I'm almost done. We're a very close family. And Derwin was the closest thing that I had to a brother. I have no brothers. I have only sisters. And then after our grandfather died and his father, my mother's only brother, passed away, he was the patriarch of the family. Now it's me.
It's the reason you're here.
Anyway.
Am I right?
But yeah, and it has a lot to do with the reason why I moved to Atlanta, because as much as many times I got lost, I ended up at Ponce City. Was that the DeKalb County Farmers Market? I was trying to go to the Dawn Cemetery on Glenwood. Now I can laugh about that. I know, but people were so. I didn't know that much kindness existed anywhere, and that is why I had a lot to do with my decision to move to Georgia. So thank everybody who continues to support, and his light forever shines.
Excellent. Good stuff. Y'all don't forget, you can go to castropolis.net. All of our podcasts are there. In addition, as Mr. Knowles said, we'll have the giveaway for the Destiny's Child Reimagined here in Atlanta. That'll be up this podcast may come out on Sunday, but definitely Monday through New Year's Day. Give us enough time to get a winner and get that information to his peeps. Just want to thank all of you who voted for your favorite Christmas songs. That's going to be all day Christmas Eve and all day Christmas Day. So thank you so much. The 40 songs are in. The favorite holiday list is done. 4 p.m. Copy, of course, if you're listening on Velvet Frequency Radio every Sunday at 4. You've got the Bird Wire, and every Sunday at 6. If we get close to 6, because sometimes we're going to let Tonya B roll on over. Just a little bit, not a lot.
But like Mathew Knowles said,
the replay of the podcast every Sunday at 6.
Yes.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Yeah. And, I just got to say, man, big thanks. I thank you, Talib, man, really and truly. Thank you, Tonya B, of course, but Talib, definitely, man, Thursday night was great.
I'm glad.
Because...
Yeah, baby.
In a lot of cases, like I was telling, I told, Dr. Knowles, when it comes down to it, man, we have to celebrate ourselves and not, our culture's gone through a lot, man. When you look at what's going on with the whole Diddy trial, and it's kind of like a cyclone. You know what I mean? It's kind of like sometimes when you're watching the water and it's twisting down in, it pulls a lot of people into it.
Yeah.
So we, those of us on the outside have to celebrate the good and not always call out the bad. There's a lot of good that we've done, a lot of good that we continue to do, and so we have to definitely make sure that we celebrate the good. The good.
Yes.
All right.
For sure.
All right, y'all. Thank you again. Happy holidays, Tonya B, Talib. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Happy holidays. Have a great holiday season. We will be back again January 3rd. Me and Mike. January 10th, the crew. With that, episode 293 is in the can. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support, y'all. Peace. Power to the people. Have a good holiday.
See you next year. Woo-woo!
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.